BFTB, best fight the best. Man, Burnt Shrek is looking bad over there, man. Burnt Shrek looking real bad. So what happened to December 22nd, Burnt Shrek? Eddie Hearn? Germ? I know. The fan bitches are going to be out in droves. The LTNK is going to be out in droves. But you have no support for this one. You have no support. Listen, you guys are talking, when Dillian Whyte said that he'll fight Chisora, out of his mouth, his words, he wants to fight Chisora, right? WBC is doing him shaky. They're doing him dodgy, blah, blah, blah. These are all his words. WBC is doing him dodgy. He'll fight Chisora on December 22nd. That's what he's trying to fight. Ortiz is an old man. Ortiz ducked him. All this other type of stuff. These are his words. Luis Ortiz comes out and says, I will fight you December 1st on the Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder undercard. The biggest stage in boxing of this year. The biggest stage in boxing. I will fight you. I have a slot open. I will offer you that slot on the biggest stage in boxing. Dillian Whyte turned it down. What Dillian Whyte said in response was, we can fight on December 22nd. That was his response. We can fight December 22nd. Luis Ortiz came back and said, fine. So you're trying to remove me off the biggest show, the biggest card in boxing. You're trying to remove me off that card. You're using December 22nd as a duck. You're using it as a duck, right? You're trying to use that to say, oh, well, I offered him December 22nd and he turned it down. So see, he ducked me again. So Luis Ortiz said, all right, little boy, I know this game. Fine. I will get off of the biggest card in boxing and I will come to the UK and I will fight you December 22nd. Send the contract. The second he did that, because before Luis Ortiz did that, it was, oh, well, Luis Ortiz is ducking Whyte again. He's ducking Whyte again, which he never ducked him in the first place. But Luis Ortiz is ducking Whyte. He's ducking Whyte. See, Whyte offered him December 22nd. He can fight December 22nd. What's wrong, Ortiz? These were the comments that I was getting. These were the things that I was getting. A fight is there. Accept it. Why won't you agree, Ortiz? Because you know Whyte will destroy you. That's why you won't agree. The WBC can't protect you. That's why you won't agree. Those were the comments that I was getting. And then when when Ortiz came out and said, fine, I will accept December 22nd. Contrary to the advice that I'm given, because I am on a bigger platform with higher visibility. The world will be watching Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury on December 1st. The world. Who the fuck? UK? The UK will be watching Ortiz versus Dillian Whyte on December 22nd if that was the case. I mean, probably some hardcores, but that's about it. I mean, shit, there's other fights going on that day. So, I mean, now we're looking like so Luis Ortiz, he accepted it. And then all of a sudden, all of those same people that were saying, oh, agree to the fight, Luis Ortiz. December 22nd is open, Luis Ortiz. Don't duck Dillian Whyte, Luis Ortiz. All those same people then started to say, oh, well, Dillian Whyte was set to fight Chisora this whole time. We all knew, the infamous, everybody knows, those two infamous lines. Everybody knows, we all know Derek Chisora and Dillian Whyte are set to fight December 22nd. So I don't know why Ortiz is talking about December 22nd. It's a bigger fight for Dillian Whyte to fight Derek Chisora. That's a bigger fight. It's a bigger fight. There's more money for Derek Chisora and Dillian Whyte to fight. It's a more money fight. It's a bigger fight. It's a higher profile fight. It's an all UK fight. The UK will come out. All the excuses. So all the excuses about Luis Ortiz turning it down. He accepted Luis Ortiz. Don't duck Luis Ortiz. And then as soon as he accepts, the same people come out and say, oh, well, Dillian Whyte was scheduled to fight Chisora. So, Luis Ortiz, he can't fight Luis Ortiz because he's scheduled to fight Chisora. Everybody knows he's scheduled to fight Chisora. That's a big fight in the UK. That's a huge fight, Dillian Whyte fighting Luis Ortiz is not a big fight in the UK. Well, if it's not a big fight in the UK, we'll fight Luis Ortiz on the Wilder Fury undercard. Then make it a big fight in the world. What's the problem? I'll tell you the problem. You ducked him again. You're scared to death, Burnt Shrek, Dillian Whyte. You're scared to death. That's why you're not trying to fight this man. Now, all of a sudden, Derek Chisora is saying, because they were trying to say, Dillian Whyte is in such a good position. He's in such a good position because, if Derek Chisora doesn't give in to Dillian Whyte's demands, then Dillian Whyte will just fight Luis Ortiz. And Derek Chisora will be out of a big payday. Not so fast. Not so fast. See, Del Boy is not a fucking fool. Del Boy's not a fool. And Del Boy knows good and damn well, just as much as probably most boxing people, most boxing pundits and experts know good and damn well that Dillian Whyte will get destroyed by Luis Ortiz. Del Boy knows this shit. Del Boy knows it. Del Boy knows it just as much as I'm in here talking to this camera. Del Boy knows that Dillian Whyte wants no work with Luis Ortiz. No work. So Del Boy says, oh, you think the cards are in your favor. That's what you think. Okay. Fine. Fucking prove it. This is the money I want, whatever amount that is. This is what I want. Now you can give it to me, or you can go fight Luis Ortiz. Take your fucking pick. Now all of a sudden it's, Dillian Whyte might just cancel his December 22nd date. Whoa. Cancel it for what? You got a dance partner, Playboy. You got a dance partner. We are in October. We're not even in November yet. We are in October. Luis Ortiz agreed to fight you December 22nd. More than enough time. All you need is 8 weeks. 8 weeks of training. Everybody except for Anthony Johnson. Ass Juice, he needs 24 weeks to prepare for Wilder. He needs 24 weeks for that. But a natural training camp, 8 weeks. A normal training camp. Plenty of time. Luis Ortiz is ready. He already agreed. Is he on the Wilder Fury undercard? Yes, he is. But he already agreed to pulling himself out of that if you guys send the man a contract. Where's the contract at? Where's the contract? Where is the contract? Where is the Luis Ortiz contract? Don't cancel your December 22nd fight. Don't cancel your date. For what? Luis Ortiz does not have a dance partner on December 1st. And if you are going to cancel your December 22nd date, fight Luis Ortiz on December 1st on the Wilder Fury undercard. What's the problem? You're leaving a lower stage for a bigger stage. You was going to fight Chisora in a money fight where you could fight Ortiz, beat Ortiz in a decent money fight, and then be the mandatory or the voluntary, holding Wilder to his word, being the voluntary in his next fight. It is a win-win situation for Dillian Whyte. Beating Luis Ortiz gives him notoriety. It gives him a legit win on his resume because he doesn't have one. And it gives him a shot at Deontay Wilder. Because now Deontay Wilder has to be a man of his word. Deontay Wilder said, if you beat Luis Ortiz, you get a voluntary. I will fight you straight away. That's what Deontay Wilder said. I'm trying to figure out, how is this a problem for Dillian Whyte? How is this a problem for these UK fan bitches, the LTNK? How is this a problem for them? Isn't this what they want? Don't they want Dillian Whyte to fight Deontay Wilder? Deontay Wilder said, I will fight this man straight away if you beat Luis Ortiz. The WBC ordered you to fight this man. And they said, well, you beat Luis Ortiz, well, now you become Wilder's second mandatory. Wilder said, bump that. You beat Luis Ortiz, I'll fight you in a voluntary. How is it a lose situation for Dillian Whyte? What is the lose situation? The only way that this is a lose for Dillian Whyte is if the inevitable happens, and that's him getting his ass whipped. That's the only lose in this situation. The only lose is Dillian Whyte inevitably getting his ass whipped by Luis Ortiz, whether it's on December 1st, December 22nd. Doesn't matter. Dillian Whyte gets destroyed by Luis Ortiz. He gets knocked the fuck out. It don't go 6 rounds. It don't go 6 rounds. It doesn't go 6 rounds. And anybody that does not believe that will tell Dillian Whyte to prove me wrong. You've got 2 dates, Dillian Whyte. You've got 2. You've got December 1st and December 22nd. You're trying to cancel both. You're not trying to be on neither one. Why? I know why. Because you get destroyed by Luis Ortiz, and then the Anthony Joshua April 13th payday goes away. The Anthony Joshua April 13th excuse, the ducking excuse, goes away. Eddie Hearn is not trying to box Joshua in the corner. He ain't trying to box that man in the corner. This is all about Anthony Joshua. It's nothing to do with Dillian Whyte. Nothing. He's ready to throw Dillian Whyte to the wolves right now. Right now. Doesn't matter what Deontay Wilder asked for. Deontay Wilder can say, give me $20 million for Dillian Whyte today. And Eddie Hearn will give it to him. Is it going to be on the DAZN? It's got to be on the DAZN app. If it's on the DAZN app, and I'll give you that $20 million, no problem. I'll show you proof of funds. I'll put it escrow. I'll give you everything you want. Send your contract right now. Mind you, Eddie Hearn will show nobody else proof of funds. Pretty sure he didn't show Canelo proof of funds because Canelo went straight to the DAZN leadership. He didn't go to Eddie Hearn. And these weirdos talking about, nobody does this. Nobody does a contract without proof of funds. Nobody does this. Really? So Canelo Team Canelo, they didn't get a phone call, whatever, saying, hey, this is what we will offer you. Do you agree? And then Canelo says, yes, I agree to that. I will take that 365. And then the DAZN leadership says, cool. On this date, we're going to have all the paperwork ready. We'll have it. Come meet us here. We'll have the paperwork ready for you to look at. Or do you want better? The DAZN says, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to have our lawyers draft the contract and send it over to you so that your lawyers can look at it and make sure everything's legit. Then they drafted the contract, send it over. Team Canelo looks at it, says, okay, this is legit. Then they say, okay, fine, on this date, we're going to schedule a meeting, where we're going to go and we're going to have the signing for this. What's so difficult? Ass Juice didn't even get to that. They was like, okay, well, do you agree to take this $50 million that you asked for? Nope, not selling my soul for $50 million. Whatever. Look, this whole December 22nd thing with Dillian Whyte is a protection of Anthony Joshua. If Dillian Whyte accepts to fight Luis Ortiz, who has already said, send me the contract. And of course, we're just going to bury that. We're just going to bury that as if that story is no longer relevant. BFTB is not burying that. Nope. Posted on my Instagram, making this video about it, and posting on Twitter. Definitely. BFTB is not forgetting this. Nope. And I'm on Instagram and I'm on Twitter, same name, BFTB Boxing. I'm not forgetting this. You can forget about that. That ain't happening. No, that ain't happening. What's going to happen is I'm going to fry this motherfucker at every chance I get. Because because I know for a fact that they're protecting Anthony Joshua with this. A fact. That's a factual statement. Because what other reason would they not be telling Luis Ortiz, here's the contract? Here's a contract. Even if it's a lowball contract, here I'm sending you one. They're not even doing that. They're like, oh no, our priority is Chisora. You know, we've been talking about this Chisora fight for a while. This is the one that the fans want to see. This is what fans you talking about? Well, what fans you talking about? What public are you referencing when you're saying this is the fight that the fans want to see? We saw that fight. We saw it already. You could have did an immediate rematch back then. You decided not to. You decided to wait Chisora out when he was asking for that fight back then. Now Chisora's in a position of power because he's like, okay, here's your options. You can fight me, but you're going to give me the money I want. And if you don't fight me, well, now you're going to have to explain ducking Luis Ortiz. Because he's already said he will jump off of the December 1st date and he will go fight you December 22nd. He's already said this. He's already made this clear. So now I'm seeing articles talking about, oh, well, the December 22nd date is going to have to get scrubbed, you know, because Dominic Breazeale is fighting on December 22nd. He's fighting on the Charlo undercard, and Luis Ortiz is fighting on December 1st. Time out. No. Time out. Luis Ortiz already said that. So you can skip all that trying to move Luis Ortiz to the side. He already said he's willing to jump off of the December 1st date and go fight you December 22nd. He's already said this. He's made this clear. He said, send me the contract. That's what he said. He said, son, you got yourself a problem now. That's what he said. So don't cancel the date. Don't cancel December 22nd. Why? You got a dance partner. Luis King Kong Ortiz. Send him the contract. What's the problem? Because you know when you fight him, whenever that is, whenever you get the courage, you're getting starched. So then you know what that does. Do you know what that does? That leaves Anthony Joshua fighting the Huey Fury Kubrat Pulev winner. That's what it leaves him. That's what it leaves him. It backs him into a corner. It leaves him fighting Huey Fury Kubrat Pulev winner. And I'm sure you all will spin that. I'm sure you'll spin it. I am sure you'll spin it. Because of right now, Eddie Hearn has not even mentioned it. Eddie Hearn has said, oh, well, you know, if there's no Wilder, then Dillian Whyte, you know, Dillian Whyte is the front runner for that Anthony Joshua fight on December 13th. No, Dillian Whyte is not the front runner. Dillian Whyte is the only guy. That is your guy. That is the guy that's fighting April 13th. That is the guy, which is the reason why instead of having Dillian Whyte fight Luis Ortiz, who agreed to fight him on 22nd, you will just scrap the fight altogether if it isn't Derek Chisora. Because you have a good shot at beating, Dillian Whyte has a good shot at beating Derek Chisora. A really good shot. He knows what to do. Eddie Hearn is looking at this as like, okay, what's the smart move? The smart move is I could fight Luis Ortiz and arguably lose. And now Luis Ortiz is in that position because Dillian Whyte is not only the number one for the WBC, you know, let's not forget that he's like number one, number two-ish for the WBO and WBA. Let's not forget that. Let's not act as if he's only ranked in the WBC. Well, Luis Ortiz will get all those. He'll slide right into all those slots. And he'll go full circle from being the WBA mandatory, being wrongfully removed from that slot, going full circle after beating Dillian Whyte and becoming the mandatory again. Then you gotta fight him, Joshua. Now you gotta fight him. The IBF mandatory will only pop up so many times. So you can try to use that excuse to say, oh, well, you know, Huey Fury and Pulev are fighting, so the winner of that is IBF mandatory, and, you know, the IBF doesn't play with mandatory, so I got to fight my mandatory. It just happens that it turning out that I'm going to fight my mandatory, my IBF mandatory on April 13th, you know, to try to see if you can wiggle somebody else back into the next fight for Anthony Joshua. No one's stupid, man. We know the drill. No one's stupid. Them UK motherfuckers is stupid. Them fan bitches, them LTNK members is stupid. Not the real UK fans. They're not stupid. The real UK fans know what's up. They know what's up. They know good and damn well what's up. They know Dillian Whyte is next for Anthony Joshua. They know that as sure as we're having this conversation, as sure as I'm talking in this fucking video right now, they know that Dillian Whyte is next. And if he loses to Luis Ortiz, he is not next. I've already posted this shit already. If Dillian Whyte fights Luis Ortiz, Anthony Joshua is fighting the Huey Fury Kubrat Pulev winner. That's who he's fighting. Look, today is October 25th. October 25th, 2018. April 13th, 2019, it will be the winner of Huey Fury Kubrat Pulev or Dillian Whyte. That is who Anthony Joshua is fighting in April. That's who he's fighting. Point blank and period. BFTB, and I'm out.